First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word now, sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the brother Aaron from the James Jamaica camp, coming to another quick lesson. And this is something that I was meditating earlier, and the spirit just hit me to say, just do a quick lesson on it, and it was me, meditating or reflecting back when I was just, a babe in the ministry, and within my first couple of years, not saying that I've been here a long time, but just, in the early stages of my walk, I remember having that fervent spirit of studying, I would just study, read. And this is not to say that you aren't supposed to be reading. This is to say that you're not supposed to be zealous, you know, especially to the younger Akim, those who are either just coming in or those who are still, learning, or in the beginning stages of their journey, But I remember just soaking up a lot of information, and at that point, at that time, I thought that, it was all about knowing these precepts. It was all about, how much can I know, and pretty much the more that I know, it guarantees, it shows that I'm pretty much, how do I put it? It gives the impression that, yeah, this is it. I'm you can pretty much say all the way through, you know. But then, as I grew within the ministry, you start to understand and see the benefits of experience. You're not too quick or hasty in your spirit to just, just because you know something, you think that you have it down pat, and it means that you understand it to the fullest. As time goes by, you start to experience the scriptures, having to put them into practice, having to apply them, having to see how they um how they pretty much apply within the world, or you see some scriptures play out in front of you, and then you start to, it starts to resonate more, and then you realize that, yeah, I was reading and I was studying a lot, and yes, I understood a great thing, a whole heap of things, but at the same time, in those times, there were times when the heads of the camp or men with more experience within the camp would say certain things, and I wouldn't get it, and I'm like, this is something that I should get, or something I should understand, or why is their judgment, different than mine? And I read the scripture, and the scripture says this, and I read the scripture, and the scripture says that, but it's not to say that there are different interpretations. It's just that you don't understand how is it that you're breaking it down wrong, or you don't understand how is it that you're not seeing that, yes, you are right on this point per se, but when you say what you think your judgment on a particular thing is, and then you reference a scripture, then you realize that, oh shit, but if that's how it works, then I'm pretty much violating three other precepts over here, and definitely that's not the way to go about it, and you start to observe the heads more. You start to observe those who are more experienced more, and you start to listen, and you filter through the scriptures. But sorry if I'm being long-winded. The whole point of it is that, because I was studying a lot, I at times I would, you know think that I had it down pat, and even at times in the spirit, not gonna lie, I think that I'm on some level, especially with those who are more experienced than I am, and you get to understand that over time that's not how it works. So this is the first precept, Proverbs chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 4. It says, he taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. And how will our hearts retain the words of Yahweh Shai? By studying, All right. So once again, this is not to say that you shouldn't be studying, but there's an aspect of experience that is within the scriptures that will, as the next precept is going to say, verse 5 says, "Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee." Verse 7, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." And a lot of understanding that we get, beyond understanding what the words mean, going in the Hebrew, going in the Greek, studying the history, and studying the scriptures on a whole and getting the knowledge, the practical aspect, the doing of it, the whole experience aspect of it, you know, that's something that we should that we should consider. And for the younger men and men that are just coming in, or men who are just learning, that requires a bit of slowing down a bit. When I say slow down, I don't mean you stop studying, or it means to take a minute and digest what is it that you're learning in the scriptures. Take a minute to see how it applies, and also even ask more experienced brothers than yourself, observe your heads, observe the apostles and elders, watch the apostles videos, take just sit back and do less talking as well, because that was another thing, with me, where you know sometimes it's a case that things are being discussed, and I'm able to follow the conversation, and then I just decide that, oh no, I'm gonna go ahead and speak, and yeah, I may say something and then start off good, so to speak, but then again, I end up erring in my speech, because what, I'm moving too fast. I'm considering myself equal, thinking that the way that I was even observing and following the conversation was nowhere near where the the more experienced brothers were taking it, or where they were following. But had I just put a zip on it, and just listen, instead of trying to be fiery and trying to make myself equal, you know I end up saying a lot, not a lot, but just end up speaking out of turn at times, and even missing the whole point and context of what was being said. And after that happened a few times, I pretty much just learned to observe those who are more experienced than me in the faith, and not because I'm studying, and I'm definitely understanding the milk and understanding the breakdowns. It doesn't mean that I should be getting ahead of myself, or you know just neglecting, or forgetting the aspect or the point that, look, there's an aspect of being experienced. There's more to it than just, oh, all right, so yeah, I know this breakdown, I know that breakdown, I know this, I know that. It's more of the application aspect. you know all right. Gonna get to my next precept. Don't want to make this too long, and I really hope that my point is being made. This is Ecclesiasticus 34, verse 8. It says, verse 9, it says, "A man that travelleth knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. He that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath travelled is full of prudence. When I travelled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express. I was oft times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. The spirit of those that fear Yahweh shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them." So pretty much, the point was would have ended at verse 11, right, where it says, "When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express." So just bear in mind, younger brothers coming in, brothers who study a lot, and you have a lot of questions, because sometimes, you know, some of the questions that are being asked, comes from overthinking, because you learn, like, you'll do some research, and then something gets revealed, and you know how it is. The more you have one question answered, then 10 more questions pop up, and then you try to, say, all right, so you go and you ask a question about one thing, then you go to about another thing, and then by the time you look, you say, look, no, you're thinking about it too deep, or you're getting ahead of yourself, just calm down and digest that which you already have, and take it a step at a time, even to the point where sometimes it can lead to asking foolish and unlearned questions, or even seeking things that are too high, you know. So it's just an admonition to the Akim to just be careful, and remember that there's an aspect of having experience, slow down and understand, examine ourselves, look at how the scriptures are playing out before us, looking at the ways in which we have applied the scriptures, or how we could have applied them better, or times where we didn't apply it any at all. There's it's more than just the soaking up of knowledge. There's a pacing aspect. There's an application aspect. There's an experience aspect. Because what's the point of even just doing this much studying, knowing all the breakdowns, but at the end of the day, you don't know how they apply, or you don't apply them properly. You know. So just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully this was edifying. Once more, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing His word now, sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.